Hey guys, it's another set of rational expressions, fraction expressions. We're just getting a little more complicated here. We're still multiplying, remember, across the numerator, multiplying across the denominator. The problem is, what's a little harder here is we've got a bunch of things together here. So we gotta have to go back to our Algebra 1 rules, but let's start off kind of easy. Okay, the regular 2 here is going to multiply times the 8. So 2 times 8. Okay, you're just multiplying the two numbers. So that's 16. 2 times 8. Now, the thing that is a little different that we didn't have on the last video is this A3 in the numerator has to combine with, again, I can put a 1 there. That A didn't have an exponent, so remember, that A doesn't have an exponent, put 1. A3 times A1, remember guys, I think we reviewed this. I'm trying to remember where we might have seen this before, but remember back in Algebra 1, when you're multiplying the same letter, you add the exponents. So A3 and A1 is going to make A4. So A3 times A1, you actually add the exponents. Now, what's interesting, there's no B in this one, and there's a B3 in this one. So no B in B3 is just going to stay B3. And then again, this C doesn't have an exponent, so I put a 1 on it. C1 and C2 makes C3. Okay, so again, the exponents, or the letters that are the same, you add the exponents. So again, C1, C2 makes C3. A3, A1, A4. Okay, there was nothing with the B, so the B went over, and then 2 times 8, 16. Okay, now let's do the bottom. 6 times 4, 24. So again, remember, we just multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom. A5 and no A just means A5. B2 and B1, B3. No C and C6 is actually C6. Okay, so again, 6 times 4, 24, A5 and nothing is A5, B2 and B1 makes B3, nothing and C6 makes C6. Now really guys, we're back to what we've been doing. We're just going to reduce now this big fraction that we created. 16 and 24, what's the biggest thing that goes into 16 and 24? Remember, you got to do the biggest thing. If you don't do the biggest thing, you got to have to reduce a couple times. So the biggest thing that goes into 16 and 24 is actually 8. Divide by 8. Okay, 16 divided by 8 is 2. 24 divided by 8 is 3. So there's my number, 2/3. A4 on top, A5 on the bottom. That's going to go down and subtract. So 5 minus 4 is A1 on the bottom. Remember, wherever the biggest one. But again, I don't need to put that 1, so just A. Now, we didn't do one of these in the last few videos, but we did this back in the fall. B3 and B3 just cross each other out. I mean, if it's the exact same number, you could say 3 minus 3 makes 0. It goes away. Okay? And then the 3 on top comes down, subtract from the 6. So again, 6 minus 3 on the bottom is going to be a C3, and boom. There's our answer. 2 over 3A C3. Okay, that's our answer. Okay, let's do another one over here. Okay, so you can kind of see there we've got same idea, numbers and letters. 7 times 3, 21. X3 and X1. So X3, and there was no number on that, so X1, X3, X1, X4. Y4 and Y2. Add the exponents. Y6, Y4, Y2 makes Y6. No Z and Z4 is going to stay Z4 right there. Okay. 9 times 2, 18. No X and X2 is going to be X2. Y1 and Y2, Y3. Z2 and Z6. Okay, add those. Z2, Z6 makes, just seeing if you're watching. Z2 and Z6 make Z8. Okay, so 2 and 6 make Z8. Okay? Now, all we need to do is reduce 21 and 18. The only thing that goes into that is 3. Divide by 3 on the top and bottom. 21 divided by 3 is 7. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Okay, so there's my numbers, 7 and 6. The 2 goes up and subtracts from the 4. So x, 4 minus 2, that's going to be a 2 on the top. 3 goes up and subtracts from the 6. So y3, 6 minus 3, y3 on the top. But the 4 is going to go down and minus from the 8. 8 minus 4, z4, and boom. There we go. So 7x2, y3 over 6z4. Okay? There's our answers. So again, you're going to have similar problems for the assignment here. Okay, let me give that to you. Okay, so there's your first one. 4ab3 over 5a2c5 times 6a3c6 over 8a4bc. Okay, so there's your first one. Okay, here's the second one. 8x3y2z over 10y4z2 times 5xy3z4 over 3x6y3. Okay? So again, do the best you can on those and stick them into post them into the journal the best you can, and you'll get your credit. Okay? We will see you next time. Thanks.